You are listening to a One Pint Stand, a Minnesota craft beer podcast that tells the stories of craft beer in Minnesota and beyond. So kick back, relax, and grab a cold one. The show starts now. Hello, my name is Dan Bobian, and I write, produce, and host a One Pint Stand. I'm ecstatic that you're listening. This episode of a One Pint Stand is proudly brought to you by Unmapped Brewing Company. Located in the Glen Lake neighborhood of Minnetonka, Minnesota, Unmapped is a welcoming spot for the whole family, including your doggos. Start your day with base camp coffee, then transition into a refreshing craft beer or seltzer. With something for everybody, Unmapped Brewing is the perfect place to gather, relax, or plan your next adventure. On this episode of a One Pint Stand, I head over to Boom Island Brewing in Minnetonka, Minnesota for a fun conversation with their co-owner, Laura McCauley. Laura is an absolute delight of a human being, and I was so happy that she was able to sit down for a beer conversation. We talked about her career prior to co-owning a brewery, the community that has developed in the tap room, and their upcoming 15th anniversary party on Saturday, July 11th. If you happen to be a pint hoister or keg stander level supporter of the One Pint Stand Patreon, you can enjoy some extra segments that touch on the quirks of taproom regulars, as well as how Boom Island has dealt with the changes in brewery distribution. So let's head out to the Boom Island Brewing taproom for my beer chat with Laura McCauley. Cheers. Welcome to another on-location episode of a One Pint Stand. I'm your host, Dan Bobian. Today, I'm at Boom Island Brewing in Minnetonka, Minnesota, and I'm being joined by one of the co-owners of Boom Island Brewing, Laura McCauley.
Hello.
Thank you so much for having me out.
Oh, thanks for coming.
This is one of the best parts about being on summer vacation. You can drink beer and do a podcast on Monday afternoon. Now, I suppose as a co-owner of a brewery, you just get to, this is just your lifestyle.
Yeah, I try not to start too early on the drinking beer in the afternoons, but it is nice to have that flexibility in my day, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm drinking the Que Pasa Mexican lager. Very good. What do you got there? Is that the blonde?
I actually poured myself a Bell Rock today. No, I'm sorry. Let me try that again. I actually poured myself... Bring it back. I looked at the Bell Rock and I was like, that does sound really good. But then I was like, you know what? Something a tiny bit lighter is our Behind Every Brewery. It's technically a hazy IPA, although as you can see, it's a little bit less hazy right now. It has a little personality of its own. Yeah. So Behind Every Brewery is actually part of the Pink Boots collaboration. So Sage and I helped brew this beer.
Oh, nice.
It's a nice, light flavored IPA. It's got the hazy qualities of it without actually being as visually hazy, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And I find that it has like a little bit of floral almost to it. Like I took my beer out into the prairie and it was like, oh, that's nice. So crisp, light.
I think that could be a fun little challenge. I don't know if you ever watched Little House on the Prairie, but when
I read
she
all of the
rolls
books.
down the hill. See if you could do that with a beer. Have you ever seen that show? There's a competition over in England where they roll a wheel of cheese down a mountain and people run down. No, they run. So they throw the cheese and then everybody runs down the mountain and people are falling and they're like,
oh my God.
People get hurt. But if you get the cheese at the end, you win the wheel of cheese and then you get some trophy.
Whoa.
There was a documentary series on Netflix a couple of years ago about really random competitions. And it was narrated by Rainn Wilson and that was the first episode and I'm like, that looks fun. So a Little House on the Prairie challenge for a Boom Island beer would be just to run through a thing and maybe, you release a caffeinated Wolverine after people to try to, and you try not to spill your beer or get attacked by the Wolverine. Yeah, that's a good beer, a wandering in the prairie beer.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the Que Pasa is a favorite of mine because it's for the exact reason you said. It's low ABV. It's the perfect podcast beer because sometimes
really
I can get a little talkative. And so if I start out with a a brimstone,
that's fair.
then the podcast gets real out of hand. So
yeah, I get the same way.
yeah. So before we get into kind of let's get the ball rolling. Now we're talking about let's get the cheese wheel rolling, which is actually apropos for here because I have been to several, I think three.
I think it's three.
3 different cheese classes here.
Yeah.
With the Greater Good, which is the greatest name for a cheese class, a cheese company.
Gosh, yeah.
What would you call that? A cheese?
She is a...
Christine
is a multi-generation dairy farmer, and she, I call her our cheese gal, but more formally cheesemonger.
Cheesemonger, yeah.
She's an expert in cheese and deals in cheese, and I wouldn't call her my drug dealer, but it's, I feel like
there's plenty of people listening that have probably gotten high on Parmesan. That's pretty
Some of those
wacky.
will take you to a whole nother place.
That's right. Whoa, man. I was having some cheese. So before let's get the ball rolling on the interview with some questions. I want to help all 12 of my listeners get to know you a little better. So we'll start off with, what is your favorite Boom Island beer and why?
Oh, that's such a good question. I get asked this all the time, and I don't know that I really have one. I've got like some top choices and most of them are seasonal. I love our Oktoberfest. Our Marzen is just phenomenal. I think it's one of the best in the area, and that's not just me saying it. Genuinely, I believe in it wholeheartedly. I also love many of our IPAs. If I'm out at a store like buying beer, I'm almost always buying some kind of IPA.
Oh, okay.
But that's just because it's my go-to, and I know I'm probably going to like it anyway.
Yeah.
I do have a pretty wide range of beer types that I do enjoy. I also love other seasonal ones that we have, like the Baby Bock is our Bavarian dark lager, kind of like a lower ABV Bock beer. I also really enjoy our Wake Up Call. That is our like vanilla latte, blonde ale sort of thing. Super yummy. That usually comes out early like January each year.
Okay.
This year we skipped it in favor of putting something else out, and I don't remember what that is right now. But I promise it was a good substitution either way.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like the Light the Lamp. That one
is.
That was the collab,
phenomenal.
or there was not a collab,
not
but like it was
but
kind of like to go with hockey season.
Yes, so it follows the wild hockey season. We try to have it ready, and with a release date that's right around the first game of each year, and then it stays on. Ideally, they're matching up like when they're in the championships still, hopefully, if they are. Sometimes the beer outlasts the team, depending on how fast it's moving, but it is
never do a Twins beer because they don't typically like to play in October.
No. Yeah, that one's definitely a fun winter hazy. A lot of smooth flavors, smooth mouthfeel. It's really, really fun and very, very popular with people. Folks are asking for it all year round.
Yeah. And then this is the most, this is another controversial question. I always love people's answers to this, but what non-Boom Island beer is always in your fridge?
That is also a really good question. I don't.
Or is it another beverage?
Are
you really big into the Sunny D like the kids today? Or do you like the purple stuff?
I go for the more of the purple stuff.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
I'm really big fan of wines. I used to work at a winery and brewery before this, which we'll maybe get into later.
Okay, yeah. Right.
But yeah, I love a good white wine, red wine. I do enjoy rosés and sparklings too, but I love wines, and that's usually what's in my fridge because I'll just otherwise bring a crowler or two home from the brewery.
Yeah, that's
for
nice.
Beer.
So wine is the beverage of choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to have my fridge quite stocked last year before, whatever, and nowadays I'm kind of like, when I get around to it, I'll buy a bottle or 6.
All right, last question. This is a good one. What is your TV/streaming guilty pleasure?
Oh my gosh. So I don't know how it
Her
took me
face
this
just
long.
lit up. I think this might be.
I don't know how it took this long for me to find it, but Rizzoli and Isles is Like that show, I love.
Sounds like
that show. I love.
Sounds like a Greek version of Gilligan's Island. What's happening? Does the skipper have a big, like, lots of chest hair? What is it? Rizzolian Isles?
Rizzolian Isles. That's the last names of a detective and a medical examiner.
Oh, Rizzoli and
Rizzoli
Isles. I thought you were saying
Isles.
Rizzolian Isles.
Rizzolian Isles.
Like produce aisles.
Oh my gosh.
Or like...
It's just all pasta.
Yeah.
It's just all.
Welcome to Rizzolian Isles. I hope you like the penny. That'll be good. Okay, Rizzoli and Isles. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a crime show.
Okay.
And your two lead characters are women, and it's based out of Boston, which is really fun.
Okay.
Because you get a lot of Irish influence, and you get a little bit more of like more modern mob sort of influences here and there.
Okay.
But it's it's a crime show, and they're solving crimes, and they're solving they're in homicide. Of course, with medical examiner and all. But there's just really fun banter and little quips and jokes and one-liners here and there. But it also there's the depth of the show too. That's really, you follow the depth and then you giggle along with the rest of it.
Okay, that's good. I was hoping you were going to say my guilty pleasure right now is a show called Below Deck. It's on Bravo. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with it?
I am familiar. I have not binged through it, but I've seen a few snippets of episodes.
I'm
here and
obsessed.
There. It is. I have to force myself to scroll away from it when those clips pop up anywhere. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh boy. And I'm watching the World Cup right now, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And so, on the TV, there's commercials versus, Netflix streaming or whatever. There's not. And the Below Deck, the newest season, is being advertised right now. I'm like, oh no. Do I need to figure out how to get into this?
It's pretty good. There's lots of drama.
Oh my gosh.
Lots of drama.
Yes.
Yeah, one time I always poo-pooed those shows, and then I sat down once to watch an episode, and I'm like, this is very interesting.
Yeah.
And just like the people who can charter a cruise like that and the level of just unbridled obnoxiousness.
Oh, yeah.
One episode, Johnny Damon, do you know, so he was an outfielder for the Kansas City Royals and the Boston Red Sox.
Okay.
And he chartered a thing, and I've never seen anybody get that drunk and unreasonable ever. So I'm
on a boat.
Oh gosh,
yikes.
yeah. There's no way. There's no escape. I can't be on a boat with anybody for more than 2 hours.
Well, I wouldn't want him trying to escape anyway. I'm a former lifeguard. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah. One time they had to kick somebody off because the captain was like, "Don't dive in the water," and they dove in, and then they had the dinghy come with the police officers, and they had to take the person away.
Jeez.
Always good stuff. Okay, so Rizzoli and Isles. I have to check that out. Which streaming service is that on?
That I was watching on Netflix.
Okay. Yeah. All right. A lot of good stuff out there, TV-wise. But this is not a TV podcast. This is a craft beer podcast.
Absolutely.
So let's start at the very beginning. What age did you complete your first 500-piece Lego set?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question too. I'm very sad to admit that I've never had a 500-piece Lego set that was a formal set. However, my mom did find gallon buckets of random Legos at garage sales.
That's the best way.
I created my own stuff out of it. I loved creating little zoos and little scenes and stuff. And with other Lego people and animals.
That's awesome. Yeah. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Madison, Wisconsin.
That's right. You're from Madtown. Aha.
Go Badgers.
Go Badgers. What got you into craft beer?
Oh my gosh. Probably someone I was dating back in college actually was part of a homebrew club up in St. Paul. I was going to school in La Crosse, and they were living up here in the cities, and when I would visit, a lot of the times it was to go to a big brew, a day-long brew fest in one of their backyards, and we'd drink all the beers and brew the good new stuff and have a good time with it. And it always cracked me up anytime in college you were asking another student, we're not kids at that point, I guess. Yeah. What's your favorite beer? And they're like, oh, Coors Light for sure. And I'm like, Shut up. You don't know.
Get out.
You know nothing, Jon Snow. I'm like, let's start off with a spotted cow and go from there.
Yeah.
Just branch the teeniest bit and then let's get into, I think the first craft brewery I visited up here back in the day, once I was old enough to, legally do that, was Dangerous Man.
Oh.
And so I'm so excited for their new future in that way.
Yes. That I was so happy when I heard that they were coming back because I love that brand, the beer. I loved all the people. The new owner is super nice.
Yeah.
His name is Jeremy, and I've been there like 2-3 times already.
I'm a little jealous already.
It's perfect because
I need to get over there.
It's literally on my way home.
Yeah. Oh.
So like on East Hennepin, I would always drive by Head Flyer, and now it's Dangerous Man. And I liked Head Flyer, but my love for Dangerous Man is on a different level. And so having, and I remember, that was when the craft beer tap room scene started booming. Dangerous Man, I associate it with Dangerous Man. I know everybody likes to credit Surly for that, and I know Omar had a big part in bringing that legislation across the finish line, but I will always associate Minnesota's taproom era with Dangerous Man because that was like the first one where I'm like, oh, this is what a taproom can be.
Yeah.
Well, and the whole communal aspect of it too.
It was intimate. It was, you walked in this beautiful, if I remember correctly, this was, again, how many years ago now that I was last in there, but yeah, that beautiful old vintage tap room with the exposed brick and everything, and just like the community members just hanging out and everyone was smiling and enjoying a beer together. And it was busy as heck. We couldn't even find a place to sit. And I was like, okay, this is really cool. Like this is the kind of crowd that I want to be with, and I don't need to be out partying on a Thursday night in a bar with 2-for-1s. Like I want to hang out and have like a good conversation. Okay, I still did party on Thursday. Okay, but
there's room for both in this world. Let's be honest.
We can do both. But I really enjoyed that scene. It was just a warm, welcoming, conversational.
Yeah.
And with great beer.
And I always thought it was really interesting because they had that big, huge table, that long table. And I'm like, Minnesotans are not really ones to want to just elbow up to a stranger. Those Germanic, Norwegian sensibilities are very much like kind of keep to yourself. But it worked there. My favorite thing to go to the OG Dangerous Man tap room was go on a Friday night and just pray I could get a seat at the bar and just people watch. Just go there by myself. And invariably, you would run into somebody that you knew. That was the special thing about that. And we'll get into that because I think similar things happen here. But, that tap room became such a gathering place, and friendships were born out of that. I'm sure some people met their future spouses there. Maybe people were conceived there. I don't know. But there was something like, I'm going to say something in the water. It was probably the beer, but like that sense of community that was allowed to thrive. That was really special. And then when they closed it, I was so sad.
It felt like a gut punch to the industry.
Yeah.
Just like, oh my gosh, if they're not, if there are problems there, what does that mean for the rest of us? And also like, Dad, where are you going?
Yeah.
like craft beer, Dad.
Yeah. Well, I'll be anxious to hear once you go there what you think of it, because I think, and we'll talk about this. When you buy an existing brand, there's a lot of excitement, but there's also expectation. There's attachment.
Yeah.
And there's always people like, well, are you going to bring this back? People, we love to be nostalgic. We love to live in the past. But there's also like, as a new owner, you want to be able to kind of like forge your own identity, but still hold on to some of the things that were really special to people. Right. But there's also some things that you just have to let go. So we'll have to reconnoiter, as I'm sure we will, after you go and hear what your thoughts were. So Dangerous Man, Madison, when you went to Dangerous Man, did you ever think, someday I might want to co-own a brewery?
At that point, it didn't really cross my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been the kind that was like, I'd walk into a place, like I love little shops that are just like adorable, and I'm like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And then I walk into another place, like a brewery that I like, I'm like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And then, I go horseback riding in a ranch, I'm like, well, this is what I'm gonna do, and then I don't do it. Yeah, I find that I appreciate places a ton and like aspire to do something like that at least. I guess when I visited there, I thought it was so cool, and I was like, well, if I did this, I'd probably do it a little different. You know, that's just, but I've also grown a ton too. And like looking back, I'm like, that is the cutest concept. I love reusing an old building, paying homage to the history of the space and all that stuff. That's really, really fun for me. And I enjoy visiting places that do that really well. And I thought that they did that really well. So.
Yeah. What got you into the beer industry? Getting
more like into craft beer early on, just, enjoying it, trying new stuff, learning about it, learning about the process and helping with that occasionally, kind of kicked off that passion. I actually went to school for psychology and was going to go and get into like being a therapist. Didn't really know what kind of specialty I wanted with that at the time. When I graduated, I did go into a few different areas of psychology, whether it was kind of like rehab center or I worked in autism for a little while and stuff. And then I realized, I miss the outdoors so much. I worked at a summer camp, or attended and worked at a summer camp for like 15 total years plus.
Oh, wow.
When I was growing up and, becoming an adult. And I spent all of my summers like sleeping in a platform tent and using latrines and taking people out on horseback riding, trips and stuff like that. So I actually do have that background. And I realized I was missing so much of that. And I ended up finding a job with Campfire Minnesota, which is a phenomenal youth organization that gets kids out in nature, appreciating it, learning about it, and empowering them to find their spark is really, I'm just going to plug them wholeheartedly right now. And I was I bring in all the sales and management of their like private events, like weddings and stuff, which are really fun on that property. And then I was also the camp registrar. So got all the kids registered every year for camp and year-round stuff, and then also coordinated the volunteers.
Oh, wow.
And from there, I actually took a hiatus involuntarily due to COVID.
Oh, sure.
And some other, rearrangement stuff. In like a brief moment just before COVID actually hit, I went from Campfire to Schramm Vineyards and Schramm House Brewery.
Okay.
And was their events manager for both locations. And then that's when COVID hit, and we were like, the day before we were supposed to host Goat Fest that year, the announcement came that we could not gather in more than, a tiny number of people. And we were like, okay, shoot. After that, I was actually unemployed for, I think it was like 10 months or so. It was awful, as many people, also experienced. Went into senior living for a year after that, and then actually went back to Schramm for nearly 2 years. And while I was there, we started looking, my husband and I started looking at this wedding venue that had popped up for sale, and we were like, what if, And then it became like serious. And thank goodness that fell through. As much as I would have absolutely loved to do that, it would have been a little farther away than it would have been, easy to manage, and also just a little bit farther out of our, skill set and experience level to be comfortable with that just yet.
Yeah.
And so from there, we actually were like, okay, well, what else is, on the market? What else is in that broker's portfolio? And this brewery was not named by name, but it was described in, this whole packet of listings that he was like, maybe you guys would be interested in any of these. And, there was like laundromats and auto shops and all kinds of different businesses that were for sale. And we, inquired about a couple different things, but this one really caught our eye. And as I read the description, I was like, I wonder if this is the place I'm thinking of.
Sure.
Without, signing the NDA and finding out exactly the name of the brewery and stuff like that. And I guessed right. I'd only been here like maybe once or twice before, but based on the description, I was like, okay, this has to be it. And then when it was, I was like, this is a win. Like, this is, if we're going to buy a brewery, this is going to be the place.
Yeah. What was appealing about it?
oh gosh, I don't even remember the description at this point, but it's warm. It's known for high quality products. It has a well-established team that is passionate about the work that everyone does. It's in a great location, very accessible from many places in the metro, right on the highways.
62.
Yeah. And it was turnkey, basically.
Yep.
It wasn't a build it back up situation. It was take what it is and do, grow from there.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of room for more creativity and more so in my purview of like events planning and stuff like that. They already had some good stuff going on, and I was like, oh, but I could envision this and this and this and this and trying out these new things.
So the bones were there.
The bones were great bones, phenomenal bones to work with. That's the weirdest sentence
you
I've
didn't
ever
want to
said in my
buy
life.
a place with a cracked femur. I'll tell you that right now. That's
no slings
good.
over here.
No
gas.
es bueno.
And we started the process, and most people don't have any idea what goes into taking over a business like this.
Yeah.
It's not like buying a house where you can put in an offer and then close the next month. You have to get all of your own licenses and permits under your name, transfer everything over, figure out what kind of, sale deal that you're doing, because you've got your brand name, you've got your equipment, you've got your recipes, you've got your staff, all of these different things to consider. But then a lot of it is like apply to the state for things in the city and whatever, and then wait because it needs to get processed, or they need to run all of their bajillion background checks. And along the way, you also need to think about your funds too. It is not a cheap venture to get into, for sure. There's a lot of costs there. And actually, Casey did a really nice video at the end of this past year, and it's actually pinned to our Facebook page that kind of talks a little bit. It doesn't go into tons of detail, but it does talk a little bit about the background of like what the last year had looked like, and our goals and stuff for the next year and whatnot. But it gives more insight into the financials that go into owning a business like this, because people are just like, oh, you own a brewery, do you also like own a yacht too, and $1 million house? I'm like,
Hot Wheels yacht that came in that we got at Target in the toy section.
My the car that I last bought is the same age as the car that I traded in. I just needed something that worked still, go ahead.
To clarify for the listeners, what year did you purchase?
Yeah, so we closed. We first inquired, I want to say, in January of 23, and we closed in September.
September of 23.
Okay. Yeah, so it'll be 3 years in September.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was, around the time where I would say it was, if somebody was saying they were going to buy a brewery, I'd be like, are you a glutton for punishment? Do you have... You could light money on fire, and that would be less stressful than, but you saw the potential, and we
did a financial deep dive and had it assessed and all that stuff. And it was, based on the reports that we got back from the advisors and whatever that we worked with, it was absolutely viable. Yeah. And there was, in this industry, it's really hard to say. The only way you can go is up, because it's very easy to go down too. Like it's literally
says that?
It is month by month.
Yeah.
In this industry, it's a very volatile industry, and you need to work your butt off to keep it going. Yeah. And that's exactly what we committed to and dove into head first, right from the start. We started off with hiring an events manager, and not me at the time. I was still working at Schramm's still, of course. And Rachel did a phenomenal job of getting us on the map in a variety of unexpected communities with some very unique events that were awesome. She rocked it. And then, from there, we also brought pizzas back. And, that's another revenue item that, we didn't have hot food for a long time in the brewery before we took over, and it is something that is once again a staple, of course. Yeah. We also brought in a new sound system and a stage, and made that whole live music experience a lot better for both bands and guests. So the sound quality is awesome now, and you can actually see the performers above you by 6 inches, but still,
that matters.
It's
though.
enough.
Like,
it establishes the space, and the stage is also presents a lot of other opportunities for unique experiences and stuff like that, like comedy. And we did not a book fair, but it was an author's preview reading for a new book. Yeah. Frank Warren was here, and he does mystery novels. He's Minnesota based.
Cool interesting.
Stuff. Yeah, very cool stuff. So just a lot of different things that smaller things, not huge investments by any means. That kind of just here and there as we went. We didn't want to change everything right away.
Yeah.
We knew the brand was solid. We knew it was beloved, and we wanted to be slow but very intentional with the things that we were doing. And I feel like we have kind of lived up to that goal, and we'll of course continue looking for ways to improve and come up with new ideas and stuff. But the innovations, you're not going to see the difference in a week. You're not even going to see the difference in even a year. It's taken 2 years for us to really working our butts off and being very strategic with marketing and planning and messaging and maintaining those high levels of great service and wonderful staff. We're super intentional about the staff we hire too, because the team is just phenomenal.
When you took over, I guess I never thought about this, but when you buy something turnkey, what the employees that are part of it, did everybody just stay on, or did people were there certain positions where you're like, well, we might want to bring in some of our own things, or how does that work? I imagine that would be really frustrated.
It's different.
I know how to manage
place.
personnel only through the lens of my fantasy baseball team. So I'd be curious to hear from the professional.
I suppose that would be different. We were very fortunate that at the time the entire team stayed on.
Okay.
Of course, you're going to have some turnover here and there, and so far it's been pretty much just with our, beer tenders.
Okay.
Which is normal for the industry, but we still, I would like to think that, without pulling numbers and, timelines and all that stuff, I would like to think that our turnover rate is very, very low.
Yeah.
A lot of our staff have been with us for a year, 2 years. Jim has been with us for nearly 13, I want to say now.
Yeah, he's been a mainstay.
He was OG,
I remember him from the old tap room back in North Minneapolis.
Yeah. You want to talk about beer styles and niche beers and traveling to Belgium and learning from the monks and stuff. He's your guy. You want to talk deep news about beers, he's got it for you.
And he's kind of a music aficionado too, from what I understand.
Yes. Yeah, he's got a very wide range of music genres and styles. And he loves finding new artists, new up and coming, revisiting established, golden oldies, but ones that you kick aside the mainstream, go for the ones that are a little more underground.
The deep cuts.
Yeah, the deep cuts. Thank you. That's what I was trying to think of. He's got over 1,200 vinyl records in his house.
Holy crap.
Yeah. It's a phenomenal collection.
Be like, hey, Jim, come in and just spin some of your records. That would be...
We've offered.
Yeah.
We've offered. So we'll every so often we'll host a vinyl records market.
Okay.
And at least at one of them, we had brought in our own record player so that people could play the records they had just bought if they wanted to, over our sound system. And I offered for him to do the same, and so far he hasn't taken us up on it, but I think that'd be a really fun Friday evening chilling with Jim kind of thing.
That would be cool.
I like that idea a lot. Yeah.
Now you mentioned Belgian beers. I don't think we can talk about Boom Island without talking about Belgian beers because when it started way, way, way back in the day, 14 years and some change.
Yep.
So 14 and 3/4 years ago, I'm not a math major, but I remember, that was their calling card, Belgian beers. Matter of fact, I remember one of the winter beer dabblers where I got just absolutely bombed on the Brimstone triple.
Easy to do.
And it was just great.
Yeah.
Belgian beers are tricky. People who love them, and people that don't like them. There's no middle ground.
Yeah.
I don't think. Whereas sometimes, hey, how do you feel about brown ales? They're fine. Like some people are just like, I could, take them or leave them, but if I drink one, it's fine. Belgians are not that way. I think there's a very steep learning curve to just wrap your brain around what a Belgian beer can be. There's a lot of yeast plays a very major role in creating flavors and aromas. And some people myself, I was not set up to understand them for a couple years until I really started learning about them. When something like that is such a core foundational piece of a brewery's identity, and then, you take over, did you and Casey feel like you needed to kind of tread lightly with the beer styles? I know you still have some of them on, but back in the day, it was like all Belgians.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Kevin and Quixia, when they founded Boom Island Brewing up in Northeast back in 2011, awesome, Belgian beer focus, and they had studied with, Belgian brewers in Europe, like for months, and visited at least annually, to, refresh and chat through stuff and enjoy more Belgian beers, of course, from the source.
Yeah.
And they were actually also purchasing and shipping grains, malts, hops, etc., from Europe for specifically the Belgian beers, because it's you don't just use any everyday grains and stuff for your Belgian beers. You need certain ones that are going to get more malty, a little more clovey here and there and stuff like that. Really get those deeper flavors, and also just work with the fermentation style better too. So our fermenters, a few of them are like not actually insulated like other ones are at other breweries, because the natural air temperatures and stuff the Belgian beers are brewed very differently in that sense, and aren't, like not as like cold fermented, and you use more of your natural yeast and stuff like that too. And so as the craft boom was, starting up and taking place.
No pun intended.
Right? Thank you. Actually Kevin and Quixia, and then eventually the other investors that came on as co-owners, just before they moved over to this new location, started branching out earlier, actually. So there was a pretty solid variety by the time Casey and I came over. We've got our 3 flagship Belgians, the Sylvius, the Hoodoo, and the Brimstone. And then just about every year we also do a quad. And
what is the name of the quad?
It depends on the year, but the most recent one was Omen.
Okay.
And that rang in around, what was it, 11% or something? It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Talk about getting ready to roll down a hill after some cheese.
Right? I was just about to. And then we also do, of course, like a holiday strong ale, the Yule, which is really good. Also can knock your socks off if you're not careful about it.
And that has a real cult following as well,
yes,
going back a long time ago.
Yeah. We get asked all the time, like, what flavor is it going to be this year? When's it coming out? I can't wait. That's how you know Christmas is coming, that kind of stuff, or winter even. And that's, these days we release that at our Yuletide soiree every year just before Thanksgiving. So you're ready to bring it home to your family and impress them, and also maybe get them rolling down the hills with cheese too.
That's right. When Uncle Frank starts talking politics, hey, have you tried the Yule? Get a big glass.
And so we also do, of course, have a nice heavy focus on our German beers too. We love our wit beer. We love our Hefeweizens. We love, what else am I thinking of? Another strong ale that we had on recently. But, in this day's climate, in the last, even 10 years or so, 8 years more so, 5 years, if you're getting really technical, a lot of people are, not as bold or adventurous, if you will, sometimes, unless you're, guiding them into it. You say, oh, you liked this beer. I love getting people to try other varieties that we have. If they go straight for the K-Pasta because it's the lightest beer, it is also our most sold beer too. Yum.
Yeah.
And then I say, oh, can I interest you in just sampling like 2 other ones that are, get you a little bit out of your comfort zone here.
Yeah.
That's so much fun for me. So, we branched out, or they, before we took over, started branching out much earlier, into, a couple IPAs here and there and a lighter beer here and there. And K-Pasta actually was a seasonal before we took over. It only really ran in the summer. And then it was such a good seller and people loved it. So we were like, year round, why not?
Yeah. I think the first time I came to this location it was like still like right after maybe 2021. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wait a minute. They never had a Mexican lager before. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, because that's interesting. Because as people, people change, I think that, yes, if you really like Belgians, you're going to seek them out. But that's... What number would you say? Like out of 100 craft beer drinkers, how many of them are just vociferous in their passion for Belgian beers?
Oh my gosh, what an
I would say
question.
5,
maybe.
Like it might be under 5.
It's
a vocal minority.
It's a niche area,
but I think vocal. It's like if people who love Belgians, they love Belgians, but that's not. I have to imagine that's just like doesn't work.
Not today.
That was a 15 years ago thing.
And I will say also, like the community in Northeast loved them. They helped us establish the owners and founders establish the brewery, supported them through thick and thin, and then but you move out to Minnetonka, a whole different community.
Yeah,
you don't move like you're gonna be looking at a lot of people who go to their local liquor store and pick out whatever they can from the shelves and the coolers, but it's probably not going to be super niche stuff. But also shout out to the people that do that as well. And we love our community out here. They've been so supportive. But we also want to make sure that we have something for just about everyone. Yeah. We're not trying to bubble ourselves and stay bubbled in one little, production niche. Yeah. We want people to be able to enjoy what we're brewing, whether that's a Belgian, an IPA, a Mexican lager, a wheat beer, our phenomenal porter. So we really pride ourselves on having that nice variety for people. And it also it keeps us in business. I mean, if we went back to only serving Belgians, or if we switched over to only serving IPAs, or some form of that kind of putting ourselves up in a box, in this climate, it would be really, really hard to stay afloat, I think.
Well, I think people want variety, and not even just within beer styles. They want variety of beverages. Yeah, we're seeing such a move to people wanting NAs or seltzers or
THCs,
just THCs, everything. So you got to kind of be nimble with that. Well, we're going to take a break because I need to refuel. When we come back, we're going to talk about the people consuming all that beer in the tap room and the community that exists at Boom Island Brewing. You're listening to a One Pint Stand.
Well, it started as a one-night stand. I had 2 pints for lonely hand. Bounced back like a rubber band. For 3 pints. Drinking a fourth in the faraway land. But I couldn't make it as a single man. So I married me this beer right here. A pint, a one pint stand.
Hey, thank you for listening. Hopefully you're enjoying a One Pint Stand. My aim is to help spread the word about craft beer. Enjoying craft beer is a passion of mine, and I love chatting about it with other people. A One Pint Stand has a goal of helping breweries tell their stories. I love to get out in and beyond Minnesota to visit breweries, beer bars, and meet other interesting beer people. If you're also into those things, you will probably want to keep tabs on the show. So go ahead and follow a One Pint Stand on Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, and Mastodon. I also started a TikTok account because I was tired of Charles calling me a boomer for not having one. I would also appreciate any and all positive reviews on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you listen to your podcasts so that we can help make it easier for other craft beer listeners to find us. If you want to be a supporter of the podcast with some of the extra change that you find in your couch cushions, I have a Patreon. There are 3 different monthly levels of support, and they're priced at $1, $3, or $5 a month. If you pledge at the $3 or $5 monthly level, you get some cool perks. So go to patreon.com and search up a One Pint Stand to check it out. We're up to 29 supporters, and I'm so excited for what that means for the show. If you like reading about craft beer, check out my written work on aonepintstand.com. I love to write, and that is where you will find my written content covering both the local craft beer happenings as well as my craft beer travels. I truly appreciate you listening and taking time to enjoy our stories. Before we head back to the show, I want to take a minute and talk about this episode's sponsor, Unmapped Brewing Company. Unmapped is a true community gathering place in the Glen Lake neighborhood of Minnetonka. Their award-winning beers span the entire flavor spectrum, from the crisp Purgatory Pills to the hop-forward No Trace IPA. No matter what kind of a mood you're in, they've got you covered. Their taproom and patio are dog-friendly, and they also offer seltzers, NA options, and THC beverages. Looking to host a gathering or special event? Unmapped is the spot. If you're an early riser, be sure to check out their Base Camp coffee shop for your favorite caffeine fix. And if you're a teacher like me, Wednesdays are for you. Show your teacher badge and enjoy happy hour pricing all day long. I can't say enough great things about Unmapped Brewing Company. Their staff creates a welcoming, memorable craft beverage experience every time. Cheers.
How about a beer?
Well, we're back for the second half of our beer conversation here at Boom Island Brewing Company in Minnetonka, Minnesota, and I'm being joined by co-owner Laura McCauley. We're having a great time.
Such a good time.
You were nervous at the beginning. No,
I didn't
nerves
say that
now.
ever.
No, you never did.
Never
Never
No.
did. Everything's fine.
No, I just get really chatty.
Yeah, that's great.
I'll
You're
go
the
off on
ideal
tangents.
podcast guest because I can kind of sit back and balance my checkbook. Doot, 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 doot. Yeah, no, this is a great conversation, and I'm just happy that you were so nice to make time because we're in the tap room, and one of the things I love about this place is there is a true community that has been fostered through a willingness to allow that to happen. There's some breweries where you can go in there and you don't see a lot of the same faces.
Sure.
Maybe you don't see a lot of traffic at all. Maybe the staff isn't very friendly. So it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to come back here again. Or maybe the beer isn't good. You know, that is an unfortunate thing sometimes. But you know, when I've been here, I've always seen every bar seat filled.
Yeah.
So sometimes you gotta get here early.
Figure out a spot.
And I always, you know, when I pay attention to your social media, there's a lot of really great activities. And I don't mean, yes, you do trivia. Yes, you do initials games. That's a fairly new phenomenon.
I would say it's still pretty new. Yeah.
That you do. Is that's a Wednesday night thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Trivia's on Thursdays.
Trivia's on Thursdays, initials games on Wednesdays. Sometimes you have food trucks, you have pizzas. As a proud member of the Hopkins Teachers Union, I want to say thank you for hosting several of our union get-togethers
Absolutely.
here because that's really cool. So definitely like a community spot. You do a lot of fun events, but I guess let's talk about, you know, as you're a co-owner of this place, talk to me about how you view your brewery's role in the community.
Oh, great question. So yes, we brew great beer. That is our business. But we really do make a strong effort to be a community spot. And it's not going to be for everyone. That's fair. I mean, we've had plenty of people that are like, oh, I don't drink beer, but it sounds cool. And I'm like, that's great. You know, we have sodas, we have other stuff, but if you need to not be here, that's okay as well. You know, we fully support anyone's journey, of course, but we want to be a place that people want to gather. And, you know, that's why we only have one TV for sports. We don't have a bunch of them. Whatever is playing is playing. You can always request something. And, you know, if we can switch it over, we will. But we really enjoy the opportunity to foster conversation and foster community and foster, you know, genuine gathering.
Yeah.
And even when people are here, like sitting at the bar or sitting at tables and stuff, yes, some people are still like on their phones or whatever. They may be waiting for someone, or they may be by themselves, whatever. But they're here, and they're in a good space, and they're with welcoming people that are serving them great products, finding something they love. We host a lot of private parties. We do, oddly enough, a lot of baby showers.
Okay.
Which takes a lot of the burden off of people that would otherwise host in their homes. You know, they don't have to clean, and they don't have to worry about having enough bathroom space and whatever. But, you know, we also do teacher happy hours and retirement parties, birthday parties. We literally had a wedding on Saturday that was here, and it was beautiful.
Okay.
And yeah, it does take a certain type of person to get married at a brewery. I mean, they got married off site.
We call them geniuses.
It works really well. And you know, we have a variety of great spaces for any size of group to gather, whether it's two people getting together after 20 years of not seeing each other, to a book club that meets once a month, or, you know, our mahjong ladies come and teach others this fun game every single week, and they're about to get started setting up soon here on this Monday. But, you know, we really, really take pride in being that kind of space that, you know, no matter the occasion, no matter why you're here, we love having you, and we want you to enjoy your visit. And I think that really fosters that opportunity to return and bring other people and turn the next visit into something more special than happy hour. That's something that we've really, really been working hard to create, is that this kind of space. And it's not just the physical space itself, it is the staff. Like I mentioned earlier, we're very intentional about the staff that we hire. Yeah. And how they're trained in, and their continued training and opportunities and feedback and all that stuff to, you know, continue being a welcoming, warm space for people to come, whether they're by themselves or with others. And that's really important to us.
What are some of so you've got your weekly activities that people can kind of set their clock to. Mm-hmm. What are some, I know that you've got a 15th anniversary party coming up here on Saturday, July 11th.
Yes.
And we'll get into that because I really want to, you know, make sure people understand why they should kind of section that day off.
Appreciate it.
But you do a lot of other unique events. Mm-hmm. What are some of the unique events that you've hosted that you've really seen a large positive reaction to?
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good question. So I would say like smaller scale, like monthly stuff, karaoke. We host that in-house. Casey, my husband, and primary owner of the brewery, hosts and MCs that. He has his own DJing soundtrack that he plays in between songs and gets people hyped up, and then he, announces names and gets people cheering for each other and hyped up and stuff. That's actually grown really nicely in the last, I'd say he's started that about a year ago or so, just over. And we've got a pretty consistent following along with newbies every month. And it's awesome. So much fun. It's usually the third Friday of each month.
Okay.
Once in a while, there'll be a scheduling conflict and we, switch it up a little bit, but it's always on our calendar. Along those similar lines is our Pump Song Socials with Gus the Bard. He is amazing. This is like just a gem of an evening, and you better be ready to be hooting, hollering, clapping, screaming, giggling, all of it. Gus the Bardic Troubadour is a Renaissance style performer. He plays the guitar. He's got drums. He's got like his whole mobile, the mobile band that like just goes on people's backs. Like it's just like 5 different instruments in one.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got that for like his, on the go stuff. And then here he is up on the stage and whatnot. But he plays like Irish and Celtic, like pub songs, sing-alongs, shanties, all that stuff. That's really been fun. We usually do that like either the 4th or the last Friday of each month. And that's so much fun.
The last cheese class I was at.
Yeah.
He was performing. So we finished up and came out, and his version of the thong song was
my favorite.
must-see TV. That was fabulous.
It cracks me up every time. And he's got a bunch of those, he calls them pub covers of modern like hip hop and stuff. Oh my gosh, they are so good.
Puts his own spin on it, which I think is really fun. That was really cool.
Yeah, really, really cool. He also started a new thing where it's like the audience helps create this Mad Lib song. So he'll ask people suggestions for like an adjective and a noun and a number and, all that stuff. And then he plugs it into one of 3 song types that he has and then plays it. And
that's great.
It's like laugh worthy every single time. Other stuff we've got going on, we'll do other types of like fundraisers a lot. We love fundraisers. We love giving back to the community and, supporting good causes. So we'll do like pint nights. We had one recently for Alzheimer's Association. We had one for the Wave Coalition, which is like oceans and waterways conservation.
Oh, okay.
We also do, especially in the warmer months, we'll do pint nights and adoption events for the Bond Between. They share a building with us, and we love being their neighbors. They're a phenomenal rescue, and they have their own vet center now, which is amazing. I think it's been open for 2 years probably now. And so we'll have adoptable dogs on the patio once a month in the warmer seasons, and then we'll also be donating $1 per pint sold during that time. So raising money, getting some pets adopted, hopefully. And then some larger events and stuff throughout the year, like we mentioned and we'll probably talk about more, is our annual block party. Celebrates our kind of anniversary or birthday every year. And then some other stuff that we had our first annual drink or treat last October.
Yeah.
Just before Halloween. And that was kind of a mini, I don't want to call it a mini dabbler necessarily, but we had 5 other breweries plus us out in our parking lot sampling beer. You got a souvenir glass. We had costume contests, specialty beers to try out for the day, food trucks, live music. It was so much fun. So this year it'll be October 24th in the evening.
Okay.
So keep an eye out for that.
A week before Halloween.
Yeah.
And last year, I want to say Loose Line.
Yeah, we had Steel Toe, Loose Line, Back Channel, Unmapped, and Mana Brewing.
Okay, cool.
With us. And this year I'll add at least 2 or 3 more.
Okay.
Probably another food truck or 2 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a nice smattering of the breweries in the region. It's perfect segue.
I tried to keep it pretty local.
Yeah.
And so when I was working for SRAM, I live in Shakopee. So that's why Mana is kind of like the outlier a little bit. But I've worked with them a lot on other events and stuff, and I go there frequently when I'm not up here.
I love that
frequently, but
like Shakopee Brew Hall, right around the corner. Mana. That's a nice little
it's a cute downtown.
It is very cute.
It's a very cute
I like
downtown.
it. I went to their tap event.
Yeah,
Shakopee
the other tasting. Yeah,
on
tap 25, tap 26.
Yeah. That was fun. I'd never been before.
It's cool.
Here comes Deanna. I know her from Lupulin.
Yeah,
which is
she
kind
used
of
to work
funny.
at Lupulin.
I'm like, wait, what?
She also worked for SRAM for like a hot minute like in between when I was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was like, I knew I recognized her from something, but we had never talked about it until last week.
When people think of the western suburbs, I think it's kind of like this. It's not really a defined concept.
Yeah. It's large.
There are quite a few really great breweries out in this neck of the woods. Unmapped, a personal favorite of mine.
Absolutely.
Steel Toe, one of the probably
they've been around forever.
Most consistent breweries of the tap room era. Everybody thinks about the big 3, Surly, Shells, and Summit.
Right.
But Steel Toe is just, every time you go there,
they're just anchoring this
everything
area.
is so good.
Yeah.
You've got Loose Line up north, which I'm doing a podcast there tomorrow.
Yay.
Love those.
They just had
folks.
a big party, didn't they?
They did. They did a bike thing between the Hoptacular. Tour de Hazy.
That's
yeah,
what it was,
between there and Back Channel's another one. Back Channel, from where I live in St. Paul, Back Channel feels like I might as well drive to Montana.
300 miles away.
Like, it's so far. So I've only been there a handful of times, but I've liked it.
Cool.
I like their beer.
Yeah.
They won Brewery of the Year at the Minnesota Brewers Cup Awards this year. That was a
very
big
proud
deal.
of them.
They kept coming up there. I feel like
well received.
What's it like? Being out. You're not necessarily like rubbing elbows like you do in like Northeast or like on West 7th in St. Paul, but it is its own kind of like beer neighborhood, so to speak. Do you do a lot of like interaction? I mean, obviously you had a bunch of them for the Trunk or Treat. What is it called?
Drink or Treat.
Drink or Treat. Yeah. What sort of interactions have you had, or who's like, if you're like, oh man, we need some more of these hops. Who's the first person you're calling?
Well, I will say I'm not the one that calls about supplies. So that's a great question for Jared.
Yes.
However, as far as like other collaborations and stuff, the Boom has partnered in the past almost every year for something or other. There's even posters in the back office still from, and I'm going to forget the name of it already right now, but it was basically like a Halloween shuttle bus that the three breweries, I think it was us and Unmapped and maybe LTD.
Okay, sure.
That would, on like the weekend before Halloween or something like that, or on Halloween, the shuttle bus would run between the three just so people could, support all three breweries, but like have like a home base for their car and,
that's a good idea.
Be solid right there. Yeah. And then, each brewery did like a candy flavored beer or 3 or something like that.
Okay.
So you could sample through those and have fun that way.
Oh, that's fun.
While supporting, the 3 local breweries. I will say it's really fun. And yes, there is competition, of course.
Yeah.
Being so close to other breweries and also all of us having like really solid products.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it probably makes it feel like, okay, we can't really slack.
We can't slack.
Like,
no,
you got to keep.
There's no coasting. Yeah. I don't know. I can't speak for them, the other guys, but I will say that it keeps us, dreaming and innovating and thinking about, future opportunities.
Yeah.
I love partnering with them for stuff. And people ask me actually at least once a month, maybe twice a month, what's it like having that competition right there? I'm like, you know what? In our industry, it's actually, and like, especially in this area where it's like a little bit, like it's not quite a destination like Waconia or something like that.
Right.
But it is still a drive from Minneapolis to get out here. It's an adventure for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right.
Tell me about it.
And having a couple of us so close together allows people to bop around with their craft taps and their hops passports and stuff.
Yeah.
And support each of us in one day if they want to.
Yeah.
Or, if we're closed, like I said, we had a wedding last Saturday and Unmapped was celebrating their 9th anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
So, we had people that drove through our parking lot. We're like, oh, shoot, they are closed. Cool. Unmapped is right up there. Or in the winter,
literally a hop, skip, and a jump.
Literally a hop.
I mean, I think you can get from Unmapped here in 6 minutes,
it's
like I did for that beer cheese class.
That was so funny.
It's like, oh, jeez, I'm running late.
I had to chase you down over the phone.
I am a man who's accessible.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, or in the winter time, because with having pizzas in house now, we haven't been able to allow dogs inside.
Oh,
and
sure.
so in the winter time, someone walks up with a dog. They either haven't been here before or in almost 3 years.
Yeah.
And realize that they can't have their dog inside. I'm like, hey, you know what? Unmapped is 6 minutes away.
Yep.
8 minutes if you take your time and drive the speed limit. But they allow dogs inside, and we fully support, wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
Or if your dog is really fuzzy, they can probably sit in your car for a little bit while you hang out here and enjoy our beer.
Wrap them in a blanket. That's fine.
But it's nice to have those opportunities. Like if one of us is closed, the other one is usually open.
Yeah.
So when we're doing well and they're doing well and they're doing well, we're all doing well together.
Yeah.
And it keeps, I guess, the beer economy in this area afloat.
But I really believe there's something to that, because I think a lot of people who are into craft beer, like, they're not just going to go to one place on a Saturday.
Right.
You're going to make a couple stops. And when I'm going out for beers, I always think, okay, well, if I'm here, you know, like, this place is like, so I'll try to, like, make it a twofer or sometimes a threefer.
Right.
You know, and just, you know, okay, start at the furthest place and then kind of like,
work
as I get closer, you know, just keep see what stops are available. Hopefully one of them has food or food truck, you know, like, that's a really fun way to spend a Saturday.
Absolutely.
I like
and we have a number of regulars, even members here, that are members at those other breweries too.
Yeah.
And or frequent those other breweries. I mean, even on what was it, Nights and Pints, which is one of our spring big events. It's kind of like a medieval day.
Crazy. I did not know what to expect. I thought it was going to be, you know, just like a level above LARPing, but it was like
full on.
It was intense. I felt like I was on the set of Game of Thrones. It was really cool.
My gosh, thank you.
It was wild.
People really dressed up a lot this year.
Yeah.
And well, last year was the first year we did it.
Okay.
Kind of like Drink or Treat, and it was a big success last year, and this year was another great success. A lot of fun. It's hard in May because there's so much going on in the area, but you know, everyone's going to choose something. And like I brought it up because one of our like couples that are regulars and members, we were stop number 3 or 4 out of 5 or 6 that day for them. Like, they were bouncing around to a bunch of different events, and they stopped in here, got a couple beers, headed out to the next thing. Yeah. That's very regular for a number of our patrons, and we love that for them. We want people exploring and supporting the industry as a whole. Yep. I mean, if the entire industry tanks, we all tank, right?
Right.
So, you know, the more we can support each other and refer each other for various things. I mean, I've had you know, event requests for 500 people. We can't do 500 people. We don't have the space for that. Well, Forgotten Star up there in Fridley has a phenomenally huge space, massive parking lot.
Yeah.
And they do beautiful events.
Yep.
I've recommended them to a couple different people, and at least 2 of those have booked with them.
Yeah.
And then they came back and told me, like, thank you so much. And I was like, oh my God, my pleasure. I'm so glad it worked out. Like, and I don't even mind if people don't recommend us back, like, whatever. But
it's like
it
that.
Keeps
There
it in the
is
industry.
that camaraderie that doesn't exist in a lot of other industries. That I think, like, I'm floored by that. Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of regulars, you have a lot of regulars. I actually co-host a podcast with one of them. You know, you do a mug club, and it seems like that is a pretty big deal here. Do you want to talk about that and maybe what was the impetus for that? Mm-hmm. I think more places are doing those things now, but over the years, as I've traveled to other places, other states, that is a very common thing. Like in the state of Michigan, like every brewery has their mug club.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why don't we do this in Minnesota? It just seems like a neat thing. I know that Wabasha has a mug club. They've done it for a couple years, but there's not really many other places that do it. Talk to me about your mug club.
Totally.
The Boom Squad,
yes,
right?
The Boom Squad. The Boom Squad. So the Boom Squad was actually started well before we came on the scene.
Okay.
That's Casey and I. And we basically looked at it and said, let's make this a little more robust. Let's make it super, beneficial to our members, because they're the ones that keep us in business. You know, all of our guests do. That's why we love them. That's why we want everyone to have a great time. We wouldn't be here without our visitors, and especially our regulars that come in and spend money weekly or almost daily for some of them, which is awesome. And so we have a couple different tiers of membership program. Our Boom Squad, we'll call it regular. Boom Squad is $15 a month, and you get every day is happy hour. So you get $2 off your pints or your tulips, whatever, every single day, minus Tuesdays, which are actually BOGOs. So you're saving even more. So buy one, get one on Tuesdays. And then there's like discounts on merch and special member releases and member events and a variety of other great opportunities there. And then we have Boom Squad Premium. That is kind of our highest echelon level, if you will, of membership, and that one is $125 a month, or you can pay it, by the year, and I believe it's $1,000 is what the discount comes to.
Okay.
And you get your own personalized giant 26-ounce mug.
Wow.
It's etched in glass, and we keep it behind the bar for you. And so every time one of those premium members walk in, we grab their personalized glass and have a mug. And, they get their first beer free in that mug. So they, every time...
It's like the equivalent of like almost...
It's almost
2
2 pints.
beers, yeah.
Yeah. So every day that they come in, their first beer, beer and a half, 2 beers nearly, is free out of their own personalized mug. They also are part of the 2-for-1s on Tuesdays, so they get their first beer free. They buy the next one. They can have a next one free if they want, and if they're in a responsible state to do so.
Right. Hopefully they traveled by pack mule or skateboard.
Most of the folks that are taking advantage of that opportunity are taking their time throughout the evening.
Sure,
They're not coming in slamming and going.
Or you could if you're drinking K-Pos or this funner, you could. I don't know if you would want to do that with a brimstone, but probably.
I think we'd have to. Most of them are pretty aware of their abilities at that point, but also.
I know the one guy. I think his name is Dan. He loves the Silvius. He's like obsessed.
Yep. That is probably our most popular beer for our members. Is the Silvius Belgian Pale Ale. Yeah. It is beautifully balanced, malty, little bit of a hop to it. It is delicious. And that is the most ordered beer out of, maybe it was. These days I've seen a number of our regulars branching out a little more, which is kind of fun to see them exploring more flavors and more styles. But yeah, that's definitely a go-to. Now, when you've got a very loyal group of regulars who are coming in, I feel like that's like doing a water quality test on a lake. Like if you've got a healthy lake, the fish are going to be fine. There's ways to measure that. I think one of the good litmus tests of a brewery is like, do you have a loyal following of regulars coming in? Because that's like an unpaid brand ambassador. Yeah, there's a bunch of them here. There's at least 3 here already. Yeah. And it's, 4:30, 4:45?
Yeah, like on a Monday. That's great. Monday. But I think that's a sign that something is going right. Mm-hmm. When you decided to make the mug club more robust, I know that some places will do a mug club or like a patron program if they want a piece of new equipment. Was there a goal in mind with those resources, or was it just like, we want to give like a chance for people if they want to like have a different kind of experience?
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be a financial angle, of course, right? And ours was getting those year-long memberships in, generally during the colder seasons when it's, harder to bring in that revenue. But also with our regular Boom Squad, that's, $15 a person per month that's in that program that is passive revenue that they're benefiting from, but we're also seeing that money come in, with minimal effort and great service.
Well, when it's like -40 and nobody wants to leave the house, at least it's like a little, probably like does something to offset that. Mm-hmm.
But we wanted to make it like, they're just trying to make money off of us. Yep. Like, yes, we are in like low key, but like also we want people to come back more often because we like seeing them. We like sharing our beer with people. We love having them host their parties with us. The Boom Squad premium members get a free annual rental for 3 hours of our Boom Room, the private party room that we host beer and cheese classes in and stuff.
Yes.
It hosts up to 30 people, and on Saturdays it normally rents for $75 an hour. So that's a $225 value right there.
Right.
That takes up, a good chunk of what you're already paying. On top of, if you're coming in even twice a week, you're already making your money back by, 5-6 months in, not even.
And I'm sure that, the regulars, maybe some of them are coming by themselves, but they're probably like, some of them probably bring friends. Mm-hmm. And those friends probably see, this is a really good
Dan's
deal.
got a nearly weekly meeting.
I want that 26 ounce mug. I want the sound effect when I and I want to be part of that. Those things are really good because I'm guessing most people, the reason they do that, yes, there's like the discount part of it, but they truly feel like they want to invest in this place, in the people, because breweries represent like a third space, like a place to belong. It's for me, going to breweries, it's a quality of life thing.
Absolutely.
Like being here makes me happy. Like
Me too.
meeting people, getting to know people, sitting at the bar, coming to events that I'm like, I've never seen people hit each other with swords in army.
This year they had pans.
Yeah, that was the highlight. I think that was really cool.
No, I agree.
So, I mean, that seems like such a good option. And I'm assuming they can find information to become part of the Boom Squad on your website.
Yes. There's, I think it's called Beer Clubs is the tab that you look for. We also have a free option called our Lighthouse Loyalty Program, and it's a punch card system. So anytime you pay for a beer, you need to ask for and hand over your phone so we can punch it and put our employee codes in and stuff.
Okay.
But every beer you purchase, you can get a punch for. So you build up 7 punches or 6 punches, 7 punches, and the next one is free. And you can let that sit. You can let them ride. You can let them build up, whatever.
I should have been doing that the whole time.
You absolutely should have. I'm surprised you weren't.
I'm gonna put that on my to-do list.
But yeah, I mean, we have an app that has links to like our events page and our punch card systems and our mug clubs or our beer clubs, and it also very conveniently has direct links to both Trivia Mafia and to Initials Game Live. So if you come here to play and you download the app or you already have the app, you pull that up and you hit Trivia Mafia on the thing at the bottom of the screen, and it's going to take you right there, and you just have to sign in. You don't have to type in a URL.
Oh, okay.
And
that's
search out how to play.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah. It's right. The link is right there. Super convenient. So there's a number of different resources in there that help you enjoy the Boom experience to the fullest.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the Boom experience, on Saturday, July 11th, you're celebrating your 15th anniversary.
Yes.
So that's a very exciting thing. That's a major accomplishment in craft beer, especially given the last
oh my God,
5 years when it just seems like there's so much, volatility in factors that somewhat are under control of a business owner and most of which are not.
Yeah.
Who could have predicted a pandemic? Who could have predicted crazy tariffs and all that? All of those things make your jobs as brewery owners harder. Talk to me about what people can expect for the anniversary block party this year.
Let me tell you, we're so excited to celebrate with everyone. Our favorite thing is a giant party. We love it. We love having everyone in here. We love packing the house. We love packing the parking lot. So on Saturday, July 11th, we'll open at noon and starting right off with live music from Static Jones. It's a great, fun rock band, classic rock and stuff. They do wonderful covers and just great energy. Smokestack Express Barbecue is doing a cookout. So you can buy by the plate. They'll have kind of a special menu for that. So it'll feel like a backyard barbecue situation. Unbakeable cookie doughs and ice creams will be here as well for some dessert options.
Okay.
We'll be doing raffle giveaways throughout the day. We'll have, of course, a photo opportunity area or a few yard games, the whole 9 yards, basically. We'll do also a couple special beer releases. So we're literally brewing, was it today or tomorrow? We're bringing back Cuvée, which is our wine pairing or wine blended brew that literally had someone ask me about it on Saturday, and I was like, oh my God, it's coming back actually.
Oh, cool.
So that'll be really fun. And then we'll have another 1 or 2 fun special beer flavors as well for that. And actually the week leading up, every single day leading up, we'll have some fun attraction, activity, etc., giveaways even. So Monday, that one is still TBD, but I'm aiming to have a plant bingo night, along with our $9 pizzas every week. So I feel like pizzas and plants are pretty good together.
I like the alliteration.
Yeah, thank you.
Wait,
pizzas,
like
pizzas,
every Monday?
Plants and pints. Every Monday is
For
$9
pizzas?
pizzas. They're normally 15 or 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's a great deal.
I might need a snacky snack.
And I gotta say, because this is very important to us, that our pizzas are fresh. They're never frozen.
Yes.
They're made by Sorrento Cucina. He's got Martino is my guy. He's got a deli or lunch cafe in the Skyway in downtown Minneapolis. And it's authentic Italian. It's amazing.
They're yummy.
He's catered my sister-in-law's wedding here.
Oh,
last
fun.
year.
Okay.
He did a pasta bar that was amazing. But yeah, he delivers those pizzas fresh 2-3 times a week. Yeah. And so on Mondays, they're $9. And then that Tuesday, we'll have a blood drive with Memorial Blood Centers, giving back to the community and saving people's lives and all that stuff. It is, if you're not aware right now, we are under a blood emergency. In the summer, it's really hard to get people to donate because they're all on vacation.
Because everybody's on a boat drinking,
Yeah,
so you'd be like, wait, I ordered blood. What I got was Bloody Mary mix. What's happening here?
You.
Just clocked in at 6%. What have you been doing with your day?
Oh my gosh. And then what was my other Tuesday thing? There's a blood drive, and then I had some members, Boom Squad members and a Weekday Warriors will be able to sample some preview beers like our barrel-aged pumpkin pie and our oaked IPA and another fun sour flavor that is TBD. Jared's still deciding on what he wants to do with that, but he's going to wow somebody.
Fun.
Wednesday will be initials game and a Bond Between adoption event. So we'll have initials game and puppies out on the patio, donating $1 to them for that 2 hours that they're out here. And then during initials game, we're actually doing some fun raffles. So normally we have, first place or initials game, they break out into 4 rounds, right? And each one is $15 winners. Well, we're like double or tripling the prizes for initials game. And then we're also going to do some raffle giveaways on top of that. So everyone comes in the door, will get a raffle ticket, whether you're playing or not. And we'll give away some merch and some prizes and stuff like that, gift cards and whatnot. Thursday is Trivia Mafia with a food truck, of course. We'll also do the same sort of thing. We're doubling, tripling the prizes, making them really awesome.
Oh, fun.
And doing raffle giveaways. That'll be really good. And then Friday, we're kicking off. It's like a pregame party with Spaghetti Minetti band will be playing. In the evening, we'll have a food truck all day. And then more giveaways then. And then, of course, Saturday, the block party itself. Live music all day, cookout, giveaways, beer releases, the whole 9 yards.
Fun.
So a whole week of partying.
Yeah. That's good. I love it when breweries really go all out to celebrate like a milestone birthday.
Yeah.
Because I think that's important. I think the Minnesota, well, every craft brewery in the country has, had their hardships. But I feel like in the last year, Minnesota breweries especially have really taken it on the chin.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to get mired in that, just like, oh, this is really hard. We need to remember to celebrate the good things. And those milestones are really important because I think, I don't own a brewery, but I have to imagine that you and Casey probably, when you bought this place, had those moments in mind. Those anniversary parties, those special beer releases, those fun events that bring people in. Because, like we mentioned earlier, breweries are really important to the fabric of our society. It's neighbors coming together, new people getting to know each other at the bar, people coming to see something that a band or like the troubadour is singing the thong song. It's, there's a lot happening in these spaces. So it's great that you are celebrating them properly. When you think about like Boom Island, what are you most proud of as a co-owner?
Oh my gosh. I think the first, even before you finish the question, in my head, it was community. I love our community. I love our regulars. I love how much they embrace new guests and returning guests, and how, even if someone only visits 3 times a year, they feel comfortable here. They feel welcome. They're excited to come back. Our community has been amazing in not only welcoming the brewery to this area nearly 7 years ago, but also keeping us in mind for their life events.
Yeah.
And coming back week by week to even just, the daily brew, something like that. Just simple. I mean, we've got people sitting in our lounge chairs just reading a magazine and scrolling, on their phone, enjoying beers together on a Monday afternoon. It's really like that kind of just day-to-day making us a part of their lives means so much to us.
Yeah.
And every pint purchased and enjoyed or, traded in for something that they weren't sure about. We want to make you happy, right?
Yeah.
But just being a part of everyone's lives around this area and people coming back for more is just, it's an honor, really. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be part of everyone's lives and celebrating those life moments, whether it's, something big or just day to day. I want a beer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're doing a lot of things right, because there are breweries that I've been to one time and haven't gone back because either the beer wasn't what I was looking for, the service was awful, or I just didn't feel like my presence in the building mattered to them.
Right, yeah.
And I think that third one is probably the most damning if you're a business owner and you are not making everybody who comes into your space feel like they matter and they belong.
Right.
That's a big no-no. And that is, bad beer, that can be corrected.
Sure.
But like if you make somebody feel like they don't belong, that doesn't go away.
You can't really fix that. Yeah.
You're doing a lot of really great things. What do you say? So imagine there's somebody listening that hasn't been here before. What's your elevator pitch to have them come in and experience this great community?
Oh, I would say we have a really awesome space. It's huge, but it also feels cozy. There's a ton of different seating areas. We've got a great 2 different outdoor patios, but we also have great beer, and we have a variety of options. So we've got light stuff, we've got dark stuff, we've got hoppy stuff, we've got malty stuff. There's something for everyone. If you're a beer drinker, you're going to find something you like. If you're not, we've got THCs, we've got kombuchas, we've got sodas, sparkling water, all that stuff. And it's fun. It's a fun, cool spot to be. And you can sit down at the bar, sit down on a lounge chair, sit out on the patio, whatever, with a bunch of people or by yourself with a crossword puzzle, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just a great spot to hang out.
I could not have said it better myself. Laura, thank you so much for having me. This has been a great conversation.
Oh, thank you.
And this has been another on-location episode of One Pint Stand at Boom Island Brewing. Let's get a cheers.
Cheers.
As I've gotten to know Laura over the last year or so, she's become someone I really enjoy hanging out with. She has a passion and love of people, and that makes her well suited to be a constant in the Boom Island Brewing tap room. As Boom Island Brewing's co-owner, she does a lot of fantastic things to make their tap room a welcoming place. Now, I want to give a special thank you to Brad Ashton, Jason Berg, Marcus Dodson, Chuck Dorsey, Vicky Epper, Daniel Fisher, Todd Fitzloff, Dave Giefer, Matt Holton, Robin Irwin, Brian Ketchell, Sarah Cry, Dave Long, Ben Michaels, Brent Newman, Bree Smith, Jesse Storms, Cal Vandehoof, and Brian Wu for being keg stander level supporters of the One Pint Stand Patreon. You've all shown incredible generosity, and I'm grateful for it. Cheers to you all. If you happen to be a pint hoister or a keg stander level supporter of the Patreon, I hope you enjoyed hearing about how Boom Island has navigated the unpredictable landscape of how to sell beer, as well as some of the fun tales of the taproom personalities. I can't wait to meet the Rat Lady. I also want to thank the band Quirky for creating a nice little jingle for the podcast. I just love how it turned out, and it adds such a great touch to the show. Thank you so much. Before I sign off, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Unmapped Brewing Company. Whether you're grabbing a cup of coffee from Basecamp Coffee or enjoying a pint of Purgatory Pills in the tap room, Unmapped Brewing Company in the Glen Lake neighborhood of Minnetonka, Minnesota is the place to be. Don't forget to check out unmappedbrewing.com so you don't miss any of their upcoming taproom events. With that, this has been another episode of A One Pint Stand, a Minnesota craft beer podcast where the pants stay on, but the caps come off. Cheers.
I wouldn't call her my drug dealer, but it's, I feel like
there's plenty of people listening that have probably
close.
gotten high on Parmesan. That's
some of those
wacky.
will take you to a whole other place.
That's right. Whoa, man. I was having some cheese.